Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 39th Annual Seaside Beach Volleyball Tournament, hosted by the Seaside Chamber of Commerce here in beautiful Seaside, Oregon. Victoria, who do we have playing today?
We have the winners bracket quarterfinal. Both teams are from Southern California. Here in Seaside, Oregon, weather is amazing, and we're ready to see some great volleyball. Alrighty, everyone, here we go. Game is underway.
My bad. I thought that was your close.
Close to getting underway, Dave.
No shoes, say bachi for the cruise, green bottles to the head, my tenor fully pumping. You got me surfing till my eyes all red. Oh, oh, fire in the sky. Oh, oh, give thanks for this life.
Why do I do it? To find myself? Do I do it for a sense of accomplishment? Is it because I'm driven? Because I love the challenge? God, no. I do it for the beer.
Joe Kramer at the service line.
Welcome to Championship Court. My name is Kyle Holmeyer, alongside Victoria.
Dennis, hello.
Thank you so much for joining us. She is actually the best one to do this. I've just been the one you've been stuck with, so you actually get a real treat here in this quarterfinal match.
Well, thanks so much. I'm so excited to be here. The volleyball this entire weekend has truly been at one of the highest levels that you can get here in Seaside and across the nation, truly. A lot of these teams even hauled their booty from AVP Atlanta across the country to Seaside, Oregon to play here in this legendary tournament. And we can see it on all the courts as we look out towards the ocean. Great volleyball everywhere.
Victoria, did you know there's 180 courts going on right now? Even though we're just looking at championship court, you will see a little bit of aerial footage later. 180 courts, over 1,200 teams are competing right now over 3 days. Competition did begin yesterday and will conclude tomorrow, although today is the end of the doubles. So we will have a winner and a $5,000 purse going home with one of these teams.
So you're saying it's just a tiny little tournament, right, for the weekend?
Just here in a small little town of Seaside, Oregon.
3 serving 1 here on center court.
Early play, both of these teams having competed on championship court yesterday, knowing what this opportunity is like. Run with the service ace. I think Cece's just kind of figuring out her spatial awareness. She tried to get out of the way of that one. I think she had a really good read if she wanted to play it. I think she just thought to herself, let me get the easy point. Unfortunately, it tags her on the way out of bounds.
Nice shot over the block there for CC as she finds that side out. Katie Lindstrom back to serve here. Katie from Florida trains out in Southern California. She is one of the sweetest people I have ever met in my life, and you can never help but have a smile on your face when she comes to say hello to you.
And Victoria, we just saw the set from Katie to her partner, Cece Gras, who hit that nice little soft roll over the top.
Wow,
that stream brought to you by Streamography.
We're switching sides here.
Big swing by Kramer. She goes cross court for the kill.
Not unfamiliar with center court. They were both here yesterday.
Absolutely.
Back at it today, and they did not lack in entertainment. They kept us excited.
Joe Kramer at the service line now, 5-2.
Victoria, who's back to serve?
Joe Kramer, USC alumni. She has a national championship under her belt from the Pacific Palisades in Southern California. Joe and I trained together the last year-ish, on and off, and played a handful of tournaments together. We took 5th last year at Wapaka in 2019 together, and a 3rd at the AVP Next Gold in San Antonio. And I'm so excited to see her out here on center court competing. She's playing insane this tournament.
Great cross-court shot there.
There was a swing from Cece Gras to the cross court. Was that a decision by Run to drop to the cross, or do you think Joe wanted to come to that cross and then Run needed to come down the line, or was there just a miscommunication and a late read?
So that might have been a miscommunication. It looked like Jo was running an angle block defense. She ran to the line. Peyton chose to pull on that, but Cece saw them obviously both on the right-hand side of the court and shot it to the left there.
That was a great pickup. Kramer keeping her partner in system. She's able to step close with a pick of the litter of shots. Goes just to the long side of the court in front of opponent Katie Lindstrom. Lindstrom, a lefty. We'll see some opportunities. She creates different angles with that left-handed swing. A lot of volleyball players are right-handed, and so when they see a lefty, not only does that ball move a little bit differently, it's almost just from a spatial awareness as they see that ball coming towards them, just a little bit different of an angle and the trajectory.
Definitely. And her partner, Cece, knows this with her setting. So she's able to set the ball a little bit more up and down inside for Katie to step close to as she's swinging left-handed. She actually is recovering from a shoulder injury that's happened the last month or so. So she was actually swinging right-handed last tournament. She is a versatile player.
Does being ambidextrous play very well to being a beach volleyball player, or is it more important to be really, really good with one hand? That's a pickup overpass results in a kill. Miscommunication.
What a play there. Hey, if you got multiple tools in the toolbox, why not use them?
Don't let them rust. Keep them sharp.
I'd love to see a tramp stamp on Carl.
Miscommunication there. Great swing. Run gets the swing. Lindstrom able to keep it off the sand, goes back over the net, and since any ball that's directed towards the opponent's court is considered an attack, that will be a kill.
What a great swing there. Peyton Run making it 8-5.
Peyton and Jo have gotten a lot of reps together. They play the same type of volleyball, which is, you could say,
Jo Kramer at the service line.
They have ball control and they are able to keep a very steady game out on the court. And of course, you know, announcers jinx as that ball goes into the net. Here on the switch, we have 6 serving 8.
Cece Agraz heads back to the service line. Are we going to see, from a serving perspective, are we going to see almost one athlete predominantly take all the reps, therefore they have to have a lot more pressure on them? Or do you think it's going to be very situational?
So right now it looks like they're serving Jo as maybe they feel more comfortable being able to run down some of her shots as compared to Peyton, or they're trying to expose Peyton's setting, but Peyton is a great setter as well. So it depends what your game strategy is. But right now it looks like Katie and Cece are serving Jo, and Peyton and Jo seem to be serving Cece, trying to put the pressure on her to side out, as Katie is very crafty and shoddy, as well as can swing and rip the ball. But it's just being able to keep that consistency, that flow on the court, understanding that you are going to be served, and then just playing that side out game.
Absolutely. There was a swing from Run off the outside hand of Cece Agraz. That brings Run to 3 kills here. We're about midway point through this set number 1. Don't be distracted by the number 3 showing there. I'm sure the official will correct it momentarily.
The wind blew that there.
Poke from Kramer just out. How much does the wind here at Seaside specifically, and maybe even today, possibly going to play into how these athletes either set or control the ball, or attempt to control the ball?
Absolutely. So the breeze here tends to come off of the ocean. So if I have the ocean to my left, I want to be serving the right side across the court. So whatever player is closest to the ocean, that is called the coffin corner. The coffin corner is not the most pretty to pass, and it's pretty difficult as the ball will drop drastically as you serve it into the wind. There is a, quote, good side and bad side. You want to be serving into the wind so that ball drops on your opponent.
Absolutely. And is that why they switch sides?
Yeah, that absolutely plays a factor into why we switch sides here in beach volleyball. giving equal opportunity to all athletes on the court. I mean, you have so many elements out here. We're not in a controlled environment. There's the sun, the wind, the uneven surface that you're playing on. So there's multiple elements playing into the game besides the game itself, which is very unique for a sport.
Not to mention your ability to pass, your ability to set, or ability to attack. You just have to worry about the environment around you. And sometimes that makes it even more challenging. And I think you start to see athletes, and how much does that play into a game plan? How hard you have to work here on the sand from a serving perspective or from an attacking perspective, making somebody work a lot harder. Does that play into it? Or are these athletes that elite, which they are, but how much does that play, or if at all?
For the environment?
Yeah, for the environment and how hard an athlete has to work on the surface in these conditions and how that plays into their toll as far as their conditioning.
Absolutely. I mean, we train every day for these tournaments, right? So it's something that is definitely we become used to, and you know, adversity builds character, and just finding adversity within the different tournament locations. They're all different from each other, different sand, different, you know, wind, but that's part of the game of beach volleyball, and it makes it unique.
We just had an unforced error from CC or Graz. That's going to give a slight advantage now up to 6 to Team Kramer and Rund as they serve to Lindstrom and Agraz. Agraz on the top side. She just received. She's transitioning, taking a high roll, but Rund touches it. Why didn't she play it over? Why didn't she just set it higher to her teammate? Excuse me.
So in this rally, CC touched that ball, and you only have 3 touches on your side. It's not like indoor when you can do 4. So a block touch does count as a touch on the sand.
You have wizard ears, or at least dog ears. I didn't hear that at all, or see it. We are here. I believe it is our technical timeout. That is when the score totals to 21. Victoria, we're going to head to a short commercial break, and we'll be right back here at Seaside 2021.
Well, maybe if it's total.
Why do I do it? To find myself? Do I do it for a sense of accomplishment? Is it because I'm driven? Because I love the challenge? God, no. I do it for the beer.
And we're back underway here at the 39th Annual Seaside Beach Volleyball Tournament. Just coming out of that technical timeout is an attack error. That's going to cut the lead to 4. CC Agraz back to serve.
CC serving 9-13.
Peyton with the receive. Finding high line and finds it, going down right over CC's block, making that 14-9 here in the first set on center court here in Seaside, Oregon.
Run at the service line again.
And Victoria, do we play to 25 like indoor?
No, we do not. We play to 21 and we switch on sevens, best 2 out of 3 here. Thank you for everyone tuning in here. We're so excited to have you. Great volleyball happening all weekend. The Opens quarters are underway of the winner's bracket. It's a double elimination tournament here, so that of an Olympic tournament, as you could say, and also the AVP tournaments around the U.S. Best 2 out of 3, games to 21. And the third set is played to 15.
Lindstrom with that quick left-handed swing. She headed back to the service line. This time Run going in front of her. A little off kilter there. Was that just a feet placement, or do you think the wind took that just a little bit?
You know, it could be both. Either she started her approach a little bit too early, or the ball got pushed to her left shoulder. But she was able to find that ball and cut it thumbs down for her cut shot there, finding the court. 15, serving 10.
Kramer's back to the service line. She serves Lindstrom. Lindstrom, remember, being a lefty, has a pretty good opportunity. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. She went up with an open hand. She got all of her finger pads on that, or at least her fingertips. Is that not an open hand? Is it because it's a one hand or it's an attack?
So she went up with her knuckles. So you can't have an open hand tip on the sand. You could indoor, of course, but that's a different sport. On the sand, you have to go up with your knuckles and pokey it over the net. Whereas, you know, you cannot have your fingertips touching the ball to redirect the ball.
And if you're going to have open hands on a hard-driven ball, it has to come out cleanly and it has to be reactive. You can't actually have your hands set already. Sometimes officials might call that pretty tight and might consider that not to be reactive. And if it doesn't come out clean on that first contact, even if it's the first contact, you're still going to get called.
Correct.
Kramer with the kill.
It's an eager seat right there. It's an eager beaver. 16-11 here.
Kramer going deep to a Graz. Lindstrom gets a Graz off, goes short. Redirect by a Graz. Good pickup by Kramer. Did Kramer make a late read there? And correct me if I'm wrong. She's not playing what I think a lot of people would traditionally call, like, she's either going to stay into the cross or go down the line. She seems to be hanging out in the middle. What's the reasoning for that?
She's playing read defense really well. That was a great move she made to pick up that cut shot. Yeah, it just went over the net a little bit, but she saw it and she was able to get there and pick it up. So that was a great move by Joe Kramer. Katie Lindstrom back to serve now, 12, serving 16 here in the first set.
And that was a side switch. That was a multiple of 7. That was our 4th side switch. Late decision by a Graz. She gets Lindstrom tight. Lindstrom go with the pokey. And blocked by Run. That's Run's second block, Victoria. Is she known as a blocker or is she known as a disruptor?
So she switch blocks a lot. So she could either play defense or be a blocker. Obviously, this tournament, she is a blocker. Peyton has really good vision and is able to press low over the net, as we can see right now. Timeout here on center court, 17-12. As we send you to commercial, we will see you soon.
We got a little timeout here on center.
For the cruise, bring bottles to the head. McKenna fully pumping. You got me surfing till my eyes all red. Oh, oh, fire in the sky. Oh, oh, give thanks for this life.
Why do I do it? To find myself? Do I do it for a sense of accomplishment? Is it because I'm driven? Because I love the challenge? God, no. I do it for the beer.
After that short break, we're back here after a timeout requested by Lindstrom and Agraz. They trail right now by 5. Run back to serve. She's made her way up to the net. We'll see how that plays into the decision-making of Lindstrom and Agraz. That's a quick poke by Runs. Turning on one. I think she touched it. Is that right, Victoria?
Correct. Great rally here. Block touches on both sides of the net. Katie Lindstrom up for the swing. Dug by Peyton. Set by Kramer. Blocked by
Agraz.
Great block there by Cece. What a rally on both sides. Both defenders picking up shots very well. Blocks are getting touches. This is great volleyball. Lindstrom back to serve.
Lindstrom now at the service line.
13-17.
Lindstrom back to serve now. She generally will serve corner to corner because the court is longer that way. She does have the wind against her, so I think what you were talking about earlier, Victoria, that coffin corner, if you will, that ball may be dying a little bit sooner than most of the opponents would like, but a quick swing by Kramer over the top of Agraz gets a quick side out, and now a 5-point lead again.
Peyton the corner again. And speaking of Peyton, that'll bring up, I believe, Peyton Run to serve. Nope, wrong again. She can't be guessing. We're good at that today. Joe Bremer back at the service line.
Who's your pick here for Kramer to serve? Remember, Kramer, also an indoor coach, head coach at Harvard Westlake in California, a very storied program in the LA area, showing her spectacular coaching as well as playing ability, as you mentioned, a USC grad.
Yeah, absolutely. She definitely did serve the coffin corner here on the south side of the court. Cece's playing on the left side. Cece was able to find that side out here as she goes back to serve, 14-18.
And now Cece does a standing flow. Do you think that's more of a comfortability thing? Do you think she gets more hand contact on it? That's not a serve that we see or really have seen any other team do.
Yeah, you know, it's all unique to your own style of play. Some players feel more comfortable and confident being able to stand and drive the ball flat over the net. It's preference, honestly, at the end of the day, whatever works for you.
Agraz keeping her in system. Lindstrom going over on 2. Was that a decision by Lindstrom because Run serves, so she might have been coming to that net late to get set? Is that more of a tactical advantage that she knows the blocker's moving? Or is it, hey, I didn't get my feet there, so I'm just going to go over on 2?
Well, unfortunately, I can't hear what Katie's thinking in her head, but Katie is a very technically and tactically sound player. So that was most likely because she saw the blocker running to the net. What a cut shot there for a side out and side change.
That's Kramer's at least 7th kill here. We are at the latter stages of set number 1. Currently, there is a set point opportunity in front of us. It looks like they'll have a side out opportunity. I think the scores might be switched. I thought Rund and Kramer were winning.
They are, yes.
Okay, they have set point opportunity number 1. There is 5 set point opportunities that they need to stave off if you're Agraz and Lindstrom. Here's the first opportunity. Agraz out of the middle, big rip, no touch.
That's going to be long and out of bounds.
That wraps up set number 1 here on center court. Peyton and Joe Kramer take it 21-15. We have a lot more volleyball action coming up here after this commercial break. We will see you soon.
Why do I do it? To find myself? Do I do it for a sense of accomplishment? Is it because I'm driven? Because I love the challenge? God, no. I do it for the beer.
Shoes batchy for the cruise, bring bottles to the head. McKenna fully pumping. You got me surfing till my eyes all red. Oh, oh, fire in the sky. Oh, oh, give thanks for this life.
Welcome back to sunny Seaside, Oregon, the site of the 39th annual, again, Seaside Beach Volleyball Tournament. Running its 39th again because we were not able to compete last year, the pandemic. Certainly a wonderful opportunity that we all get to play right now. And how exciting is it for the athletes to be able to actually train and now compete?
Absolutely. I myself have been waiting forever, like everybody else, to compete here. I mean, it's one thing we can go and scrimmage and drill and train every day, but really being able to put all your cards on the table at a tournament really says it all. I mean, this is why we do it. We live to compete, we live to play, and being able to be here in Seaside, Oregon at this historical tournament, truly, having the 40th anniversary next year in 2022, it's amazing. Wow. And we're so thankful for AVP and AVP America to be putting on these events. Katie with a dig. CC sends it over on one and finds the court, making that 2-1 here in the second set.
And if you want to mark your calendars now, next year, 2022, Seaside, Oregon, the 40th annual event. It is going to be hosted August 11th through the 14th. So you can mark those calendars now. There's a great opportunity. Even if you're not here, if you have some friends that are, they can register to win a $500 gift card and an opportunity to have a paid entry for next year. You can get those reservations on the books now as opposed to waiting for your best opportunity.